Nobody wants to hurt their children or upset them, but nobody is perfect. And sometimes even the most conscientious of us make mistakes. So what are some of the things that parents say to their kids that can have a negative or damaging effect? In this video, I want to share a couple of common things parents say that can have a negative impact, often without us even knowing it. So let's begin. It goes without saying that there are some things you can say that will really hurt your kids. For example, I've met a few kids over the years who were told that they were mistakes. Like one mother I knew routinely tells her kids that they are stupid, an idiot, or worse. If they do something wrong, she blows up and it's always extreme. But those are the obvious things that we don't say to our kids. All of us know that we shouldn't be saying those kinds of things. Here's a few other phrases you might want to avoid. Number one, it's no big deal. I can be guilty of this sometimes. I say it when I'm trying to help one of my kids feel less anxious. The problem is that to them, it sometimes is a big deal, even if it's not to me. I don't think it's good practice to diminish their feelings by telling them to suck it up. That is the old school way of dealing with emotions, and I have seen so many kids over the years who are unable or just have so much difficulty expressing emotions because they were taught to just deal with it. When you tell them that it's no big deal, you are essentially telling them that how you feel doesn't matter. And that's the exact opposite message that we want to convey. So instead of that, express feelings of empathy and ask them if they want to talk about it. Almost always, if you offer empathy and a willingness to listen, that will help alleviate their feelings, and sometimes rather quickly. Talking things out, usually with an empathetic ear, is very good practice. Number two, there's a couple of different versions of this second thing that we should avoid saying to our kids, but it kind of goes like this. You don't appreciate anything about me, or I guess I'm just not a good enough mother or father for you. These are statements that people make when they are being defensive. The problem with defensiveness is that it shuts the other person down. It will shut your child down. When one person wants to talk things through or work things out, which is healthy, and the defensive person responds with, you just don't appreciate anything about me, or I guess I'm just not good enough for you, that person is absolutely shutting the other person down. There's nothing you can say to that. The defensive person is unwilling to be open, unwilling to change, unwilling to hear hard things. Being defensive is such a relationship killer. It's so destructive to relationships that we know from marriage research that it's one of the primary contributors to divorce. It is that destructive. Number three, speaking in absolutes, like you never or you always do. Absolutes just cannot be true. And when you make these kinds of statements, you stop being open and curious about what's going on with your child in that moment. Absolute statements almost always come in the form of criticism, which is another relationship killer. Criticism is different than voicing a complaint. When you voice a complaint, which is healthy and definitely recommended, you are being specific about issues that are bothering you. But when you criticize, you are attacking the person and not the thing that's bothering you. So here's the difference. Here's a complaint as an example. I was scared when you didn't call tonight to let me know that you'd be coming home late. I thought we'd agreed that we would do that for each other. Here's the criticism version of that. You are so selfish and never think about how your selfish behaviors affect me. You never think of me. So remember, complaints are needed. Complaints are healthy. That's how we work through problems. But criticism is destructive of the person. Number four, I wish you were more like your sister. I wish you were more like your brother. Or sometimes they might say that about friends. I wish you were more like so-and-so. We should never compare. This is basically telling your kid that you love and accept and value someone else more than them. That can be very destructive. Number five, you're so smart. I know putting this on the list might surprise you. We know from research actually that praising effort versus praising intelligence is always superior. There was a psychologist, Carol Dweck, and she did this study. She took two groups of students and gave them a very basic intelligence test. At the end of the task, one group was praised for their intelligence. They were told, you did really well. You must be so smart. The other group was praised for their effort. They said, you did really well. You must have worked really hard at this. This is a subtle change in the way the students were praised, and it led to astounding differences between the two groups in later tasks. The students who were praised for their effort got better results, and they were actually more likely to persist at challenging tasks. The group who were praised for their intelligence, on the other hand, they not only gave up easily when the going got tough, but when given another easy test, their results actually got worse. I have probably given IQ tests over 10,000 times in my career, and I am not exaggerating that. I have seen many, many brilliant kids who are lazy and never learn to work hard. I have also seen average kids with great work ethic, and they succeed far beyond their more intelligent peers. Before we move on to the next points, I want to thank you for watching this video. Are you struggling to communicate with your child or to discipline them effectively? You know, none of us are given a manual when our kids are born. We learn by trial and error. Well, that's why I've created this channel. This is about using my system of correcting and connecting to build a strong, trusting, and influential relationship with your child. If that's the kind of thing you want to know more about, then like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends. Now let's get back to the video. Number 6, never say anything bad to your child about their other parent. It really doesn't matter how true it is, because even if he or she is such a loser, they are still your child's parent. Number 7, the last thing I'd advise you never to say isn't something you actually say. It's when you refuse to say anything. Giving someone the silent treatment when you are upset is the ultimate form of manipulation, and it's so common. We actually call this stonewalling, and it has been shown to be one of the main predictors of divorce in married couples. It's that destructive. Stonewalling, or the silent treatment, is usually done when you feel overwhelmed or when you're angry and you want to punish that person. It's very harmful to the relationship. Sometimes you might do it because you're just emotionally flooded and you need a break. And if that's the case, just say that. Just say, I need to step away for a while and gather my thoughts. Do you sometimes struggle to discipline your child effectively? Do they misbehave or act out, leave you scratching your head, wondering what to do or even how to reach them at all? I have spent the last 25 years as a clinical psychologist working primarily with children, adolescents, young adults, and their families. I have seen how these principles I teach have benefited my family and so many others. I want you and your family to have this too. That's why I've created a free ebook about how to discipline effectively, and believe me, it is not what you think. This will help you correct and connect with your child. It contains distilled information from my 25 years as a clinical psychologist, and it's designed to give you an understanding of effective parenting tools as well as practical steps you can take starting today. So just click on the link in the video description below, fill in your details, and I'll send it right to you.